Welcome back, everybody, to Backwater Jacks. This is Chef Corey Bass, and we're here to let you know it's not just fish that we do here at Backwater Jacks. We do a myriad of things, and I'm going to walk you through some of those. Today we have a little duck, braised lamb shank, and filet mignon. And I'm going to walk through the procedures of how we put all these together and how you can do this at home. Alrighty, today we're going to start with the duck. And we just pulled this out of our sous vide bath. As you can see, they were cooking at about 160 degrees for about 9 hours. And what we're going to do is we're going to take these, we're going to pop these in the fryer for about 1.5 minutes to really give it a nice crisp texture on the outside. And then we'll get to plating, all right? Alrighty, the duck's just about done. Took about 1.5 minutes in the fryer. As you can see, the skin is nice and crispy. And now we're going to move on to how we plate, all right? Alrighty. And with the duck, we're going to do a little bit of creamed leek, which we start with just a little bit of olive oil in a pan, and then your leeks, which, as you can see, we cut on a bias. A little bit of salt and pepper. And you want to just get those tender. Now, as those are sauteing, we're going to pull out our polenta disc. And now we're going to brown them just a bit up in our broiler. And as they're browning, looks like our leeks are getting some good color. We're going to turn back around. And as you can see, you have to do quite a few things at one time. We're going to hit it with just a little bit of cream. Now in this cream we have a little bit of garlic, a little bit of shallot, a little bit of Gruyere cheese. And wow, there you go, cream leeks. Just that easy. Alrighty. Alright, now that the polenta cakes are nice and hot, we're going to add just a couple of those to the plate. Now we take our cream leeks and we're going to just lay the cream leeks right across here as such. Okay, then we're going to take our duck. Now these are just legs and thighs, these are not breast, which in my opinion is much better than the breast because you have much more flavor coming from the dark meat of the breast. The top part of the leek that we shaved off, and because it's already part of the dish, we are going to use that. I believe most garnishes should have as a garnish what's actually going to be on the dish, and voila. To finish it all off, we're going to hit it with just a little bit of port wine. And you can just kind of be liberal however you want to do it. Me, I like to be kind of random. Bam, dish done. Alright, moving on to the filet. We're going to simply season this. A little bit of sea salt and fresh cracked black pepper. Both sides, be liberal, because you do lose some to the pan. Alright. And then we're going to actually just sear these in a non-stick skillet. And it'll be about, for me personally, for a good medium rare, you're looking at about 2 minutes per side. Alright? And let's get that going. Alrighty. Now, while we're waiting, while that filet is cooking, we're going to actually saute up a little bit of asparagus tip and pea, because we're actually serving it with a pea and asparagus puree, and then a little bit of purple Peruvian potato whip, and then some roasted portobello mushroom. Alright? Alright, now we're just sauteing these. Just a little splash of alcohol for flavor. And then we're going to hit it with just a little bit of butter. Now that it's nice and tender, turn the heat off. Let that butter melt. Alright, the filet's just about done. So we're going to pop our mushrooms up in our broiler. Get those nice and hot. We've got our saute of peas and asparagus tips. And our filet is just about medium rare. Perfect. Turn the heat off. Let that rest. Remember, it's always important to let the meat rest for just a moment, at least about a minute and a half before you go to serve. Okay? Now, for the plate, we have our purple Peruvian Duchesse right there, and we're going to start with a mushroom, some of our potato, come back with another mushroom. Now we're going to actually take the steak, put that right on top. Beautiful. Now we're going to take our puree, and what we did from the tips of the asparagus is we took the stems and we created a puree from the stems of the asparagus, right? Then we take our pan and we take some of those peas, some of those asparagus, just line them into the puree, sort of tie the whole thing together, right? And now we're going to use a little bit of pea tendril. And these are the shoots of peas as they're starting to grow. Lay that on top. Wipe up our little spot. And then hit it with just a little bit of olive oil. And voila. Alrighty. Now we're going to move on to the lamb shank. Now we actually sous vide these for about 9.5 hours. And that's got a little bit of demi-glace, which is a veal reduction with celery, carrot, onion, rosemary, salt, pepper, and a smidge of ginger. Okay, so here we go. We're going to cut this open. We're going to remove the lamb as delicately as possible because it is super, super tender. Anybody that's ever worked with lamb before realizes that once it's cooked, it's pretty good. Now, all of this deliciousness that's right here, we are going to take and reduce just a skosh. All right. We're going to let that cook. And while that's cooking, we are going to take our hash. This is a hash made of shallot, mushroom, golden fingerling, garlic, salt, and pepper, and Brussels sprout. We're just going to give that a nice saute. And this is something that really is simple that you could make at home. All right. Cut the heat back just a little bit. Pop this up in the broil to give it just a little bit of a dry. And as you can see, the thickness really starts to come through in this. Now, you may see whole cloves of garlic. Don't be scared because it's not going to bite you. I don't know if you're recording or not, but alrighty. Lamb is perfect. So now we take our hash made of Brussels sprouts, golden fingerling, mushrooms, shallots, garlic. And we're going to lay that hash down. Clean up our little edge. rest our lamb right there. And then we will spoon over this lovely sauce that it was cooked in for an eternity. Just like so. And you can reserve some of that sauce for later. Clean up our edge a little bit. And then just a slight little garnish of different flowers to give it some color and some pop. Alrighty, here we go. You have your beautiful duck, filet mignon, and braised lamb shank, all here at the beautiful Bonita Bay Basin right off the Imperial River. And you can make all of these dishes at home, you know, if you have a sous vide, but if you don't, we can do them here for you. You can reach us at 992-3010 and make your reservations. We are open every Thursday through Saturday, all the way through mid-October, and then we open every day except for Monday.